When I started training dolphins, there was no manual. I would get the script and it says, Flipper goes over to the dock and picks up the gun and then swims down left to right. I had to actually translate that into action somehow.
Thanks, Flipper. Yeah, thanks, Flipper.
The thing that really struck me was that they're smarter than we think they are. The house that you see in the Flipper set where the family lives was actually my house. I lived there all year round for 7 years. And right in front of the house there was a lake, saltwater lake, and that's where Flipper was, at the end of the dock. When Flipper came on television on Friday night at 7:30, I would take my television set from the house and go down the end of the dock with a long extension cord, and Kathy would watch herself on television. And she could tell the difference between herself and Susie, who was another Flipper dolphin that was used. I knew then they were self-aware. And when you become conscious of this non-human intelligence, you realize after a while they don't really belong in captivity. But I didn't do anything about it.
One day, it all ended. Like the props, they went back to the Miami Seaquarium. They were owned by the Seaquarium. We should have set them free, but we were not thinking at the time. If you just walk into this place and the music is playing, the dolphin is jumping and smiling, it's hard to see the problem. But the dolphin smile is nature's greatest deception. It creates the illusion they're always happy.
Smile when your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking.
Nerve central of any dolphinarium is the fish house. And if you go to any one of these fish houses, you'll see bottles of Maalox and Tagamet. And they're used because dolphins get ulcers, because they're all stressed out. You have to see them in the wild to understand why captivity doesn't work.
In the wild, they're traveling 40 miles a day. They could be surfing in one area in the morning. In the next hour, they could be 25 miles away, feeding or socializing. Dolphins are acoustic creatures. They're sound-oriented. That's their primary sense. The best sonar that man has is a toy compared to the dolphin sonar. When you're in the water, the dolphins can see right through you. They can see your heart beating, they can see your bones, they can see if you're pregnant. They get a lot of information with their sound. The dolphin is captured and put in a concrete tank surrounded by a stadium full of screaming people. It's their stress that kills them. At the National Aquarium in Baltimore, when it first opened, the dolphins were dying left and right. They couldn't keep dolphins alive, and they finally figured out it's because the filtration system was making a lot of noise. So they're very sensitive to sound. That's their primary sense. And that's their downfall in Taiji.